Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadadeshtarini. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isha Nishavatarakam Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gaud Udaye Pushpavanatau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Grantera Rambakori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nijavanchita Purana Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Asha Chaitanya Caritamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 7, entitled The Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. So we have read till text number 17 in the last session. We will continue from the next verse, which is text 18 onwards. Yasabalau Prabhura Nityar Vihara Yasabalau Prabhur Kirtana Prachara Yasabalau Karina Prima Aswadana Yasabalau Dana Kare Prima Dhana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The internal devotees or potencies are all eternal associates in the pastimes of the Lord. Only with them does the Lord advent to propound the Sankirtana movement. Only with them does the Lord taste the mellow of conjugal love. And only with them does he distribute this love of God to people in general. Purport. Distinguishing between pure devotees and the internal or confidential devotees of Sri Rupa Goswami. Distinguishing between internal or confidential devotees, Srila Rupa Goswami, in his book Updeshamrit, traces the following gradual process of development. Out of many thousands of karmis, one is better when he is situated in perfect Vedic knowledge. Out of many such learned scholars and philosophers, one who is actually liberated from the material bondage is better. And out of many such persons who are actually liberated, one who is a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is considered to be the best. Among the many such transcendental lovers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the gopis are the best. And among the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the best. Srimati Radhika is very dear to Lord Krishna. And similarly, her pawns, namely Shamakunda and Radhakunda, are also very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in his Anubhashya that among the 5 tattvas, 2 are energies, Shakti Tattva, and 3 others are energetic, Shaktiman Tattva. Unalloyed and internal devotees are both engaged in the favorable culture of Krishna consciousness. Untinged by philosophical speculation or fruitive activities, they are understood to be pure devotees. And those among them who simply engage in conjugal love are called Madhurya Bhaktas or internal devotees. The loving services in parental love, fraternity, and servitude are included in the conjugal love of God. In conclusion, therefore, every confidential devotee is a pure devotee of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoys his pastimes with his immediate expansion, Nityananda Prabhu, his pure devotees, and his three Purusha incarnations, namely Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhadakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu, always accompany the Supreme Lord to propound the Sankirtana movement. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear worshipful devotees, for joining. So we are reading about the Panchatattva here. The chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. So far we read primarily first about Lord Krishna, then about the other Shaktiman Tattvas. So we read about Shaktiman Tattvas, which are the 3, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Acharya. Now we're reading about, in text number 15 to 19, the Shakti Tattvas or Aradhakas. So let's go back to the verse. The internal devotees or potencies of the Lord. So in short, a pure devotee, a confidential devotee of the Lord is very, very rare, as we see here. Many thousands try to follow the karma kanda process. Very few actually even follow these days. Karma kanda process also very few follow. Most, the intention is bhoga, right? There is no even karma kanda. But out of those who follow karma kanda, getting perfection in Vedic knowledge is very rare. And out of many such scholars, one becomes liberated. And out of many such liberated person, one becomes a devotee of the Lord. You see, very rare. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Very rare. Very rare. Amongst those devotees, Sri Gopis are topmost. Amongst those Gopis, Sri Radhika is topmost. We're talking about the Shakti Tattva. So the Gopis, and here referring to Sri Gadadhar Pandit also. These are Krishna's internal energies, Shakti Tattva, or also Madhurya Bhaktas, Antaranga Bhakta, Madhurya Bhakta. And as Prabhupada time and again reminds us that those who are in those Madhurya Bhaktas or internal devotees, all the other rasas are included, like servitude, parenthood, etc. So unalloyed means Shuddha, and internal is the word used is Antaranga. These are the devotees which are engaged in the conjugal Madhurya Rasa. And this is the rasa which Lord Chaitanya has come to give. He has come to give the highest taste of love of Godhead. Prema Pumartho Mahan. Along with whom? Along with his associates, this Parikar, along with all his team, his entourage, his pure devotees. He has come to give us that. Kirtana Prachar. Ye sab lao Prabhu Kirtana Prachar. So he has come to give us that. I was hearing a very nice video, I mean, on I posted on the group also by his by Shripad Andhra Prabhuji, who is known for his Harinam Sankirtan and um, chanting in the holy dham. Dhawan established that like the 24-hour Sankirtan party. So I want to share some.
Why did Srila Prabhupada stress book distribution? Also, the Nam Japa. Nam Japa is like taking tablets. So anyway, I myself, I will be there. As I mentioned in Mayapur, chanting, dancing, feasting, and philosophy. The philosophy is to convince us to chant and dance. Feasting is to energize our and dancing.
Okay.
Then your heart's in the right place. That's what Radhesham wants. Called end of the festival. For me, the festival never ends. Every day is a festival, especially in Vrindavan. You have to allow every day to be a festival. Then your heart's in the right place. That's what Radhesham wants for you. Every day a festival. Chanting, dancing, feasting, and philosophy. As I mentioned in Mayapur, chanting, dancing, feasting, and philosophy. The philosophy is to convince us to chant and dance. Feasting is to energize our chanting and dancing. Chanting and dancing is for getting a taste for chanting and dancing. Chanting and dancing with a taste for chanting and dancing is to evolve to the platform of Ragmai, chanting and dancing. Ragmai means from the stage of bhava. And chanting and dancing on the stage of bhava, Ragmai Sankirtan, Nam Sankirtan, that is for the purpose of entering into Lord Chaitanya's Lilas and chanting and dancing directly with Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So it's very important that we understand this philosophy. We have to understand the philosophy. If you're chanting and dancing in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement, then basically you've understood the philosophy. And if you're not chanting and dancing in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan, then it means you simply have not understood the philosophy. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Someone shared this video and I was watching this, hearing this, I really felt very inspired. That how chanting and dancing in Sankirtana is to enhance our chanting and dancing, and that will enhance our bhakti. That will enhance the and it's not just to share with others. I mean, that's one of the secondary purpose, but it is to practice ourselves also. And when we happily chant and dance, anyone who comes in contact with the Yuga Dharma, whether they repeat the holy name, even jokingly, even for fun. Oh, look at these crazy people, they're chanting Hare Krishna. That person also gets benefit, right? This is the beauty of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. So as far as possible, we must try our best to take part and encourage others to chant and dance. That's the whole Sankirtana movement. That's why Lord Chaitanya appeared. We're celebrating on Gaur Purnima just a couple of days. That's why he primarily appeared. Yagyai Sankirtana Praye Rijantihi Sumedasaha, to give this Harinam Sankirtana movement to so anyone, irrespective of any background, any fault, any past, will be delivered just by chanting and dancing. Any comments, thoughts anyone has in this? Hare Krishna. Is it Prem Sankirtan Prabhu joined? Okay. Would someone like to read text 20, 21 are together? Anyone wants to read this?
I can read Prabhuji. Horizon devotees, Dhamma Pranam, all Krishna Srila Prabhupada. সেই পঞ্চতত্ত্ব মিলি পৃথিবী আসিয়া পূর্বপ্রেম ভাণ্ডারের মুদ্রা উগাড়িয়া পাঁচের মিলি লুটে প্রেম করে আস্বাদন যত যত পিয়ে তৃষ্ণা বাড়ে অনুক্ষণ। Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki joy. The characteristics of Krishna are understood to be a storehouse of transcendental love. Although that storehouse of love certainly came with Krishna when he was present. It was sealed, but when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with his associates of the Panchatattva, they broke the seal and plundered the storehouse to test transcendental love of Krishna. The more they tested it, the more their thirst for it grew. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Mahabodhanaya Mahabodhana Avatara. Because although he is the Krishna himself, he is even more favorably disposed to the poor fallen souls than Lord Sri Krishna. When Lord Sri Krishna himself was personally present, he demanded that everyone surrender unto him and promised that he would then give one all protection. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this earth with his associates, he simply described the transcendental love distributed, transcendental love of God.
Prabhuji, you went on mute somehow.
Transcendental love of God without discrimination. Sri Rupa Goswami therefore could understand that the Lord Chaitanya was none other than Sri Krishna himself. For no one but the Supreme Person Godhead can distribute confidential love of the Supreme Person. So, by delivering Jogai Madai, this text proves that even without any qualification, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, not Nityananda Prabhu, came to deliver the souls in this Kali Yuga. Though Krishna is the source of love, but Krishna did not give that easily to everyone. Krishna wanted first to surrender to him and then he will deliver. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the fallen souls, Jagai Madai, he delivered in this Kali Yuga. So that is my understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your Seva, Prabhuji. I see His Grace Prema Sankirtan Prabhu has joined after a
Hare
long
Krishna
time.
Srila Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Oh, thank you all.
Sorry.
Thank you for joining. We are blessed to have your Sangha after a long time. And
Prabhu, I have just little comment in the previous
please.
where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was saying in his Anubharsha that 3 are the Shaktiman and 2 are the energies, Shakti Tattva. So 1 is internal potency, means Antaranga Shakti, that is Gadadhar Prabhu. And the other Shakti Tattva was marginal potency, Jiva Tattva, that is Srila Narad Muni, who is Shivash Pandit. So that's what he was mentioning, just and we know that 3 other energetic Shaktiman are Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Prabhu. Just one question here. I mean, Prabhupada didn't mention. So we know that Karanadakshayi Vishnu, that is Mahavishnu, is Advaita Prabhu. But who are the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu? We know that Shirodakshayi Vishnu is Srila Nityananda Prabhu's son, Virochandra Prabhu as Shirodakshayi Vishnu. But anybody knows like who was the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu here? So in the last line, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that his pure devotees and his three Purusha incarnations, namely Karanadakshayi Vishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and Shirodakshayi Vishnu, always accompany the Supreme Lord to propound the Sankirtan movement. So we know that Karanadakshayi Vishnu is Mahavishnu is
Advaita Acharya.
Advaita Acharya, yeah. Mahavishnu Jagat Karta Maya Sijata Tashavatara Evamoya Advaita Acharya Ishvara. So in that sloka, Krishnadas Kaviraj Ganshayi mentioned. But we don't know who is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. But Srila Nityananda Prabhu has a son. His name was Birichandra, who was actually from Srila Vasudha Mata. But he was initiated by Srila Jahnava Devi, Srila Nityananda Prabhu's second wife. So he was the Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. But
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Yeah, if anyone knows, please feel free to share. Sorry, I have not heard. I'm not aware. So, but if
you
anyone,
need to ask someone like senior devotees.
yes, but we are very grateful for your Sangha. You're so timely you joined because we are talking about Prema Sankirtana, and your name is Prema Sankirtana, Prabhu. So Lord Chaitanya inundated the Prema Sankirtana, right? Say Pancha Tattva Mili Prithvi Ashiya Purva Prema Bhandar. This Bhandar of Prema Sankirtana, of love of Godhead, they plundered, they opened the seal, right? Mudra. They opened the seal. It was sealed, locked. When Krishna came, he said, "Have Sarv Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam." It's like too much. But Lord Chaitanya is so merciful. He said he broke open the storehouse of love of Godhead. Panche Mili, kya kiya? They met, they all together lute prema kare aswadana. They experienced aswadana. Shakakori aswadana means to experience, to enjoy, to relish, right? But not only that, yata yata piya trishna bade anokshana. This is the sign of advancement. This is a sign of bhakti. This is a sign of pure prema sankirtana or love of God. The more one serves, the more one experiences, the more one becomes, the more nectar one feels, and the more one wants to experience that. This is the pure nectar. Like in material life, if someone has a, let's say, greed for something, the greed will grow. If someone tries to fulfill that, the greed is not going to to go in the subside, like some organizations say. Oh, if you are or hankering for something, or whether it's some object or person or thing, the hankering kind of, it goes in the negative direction, degradation. But here in bhakti rasa, when one experiences, one does aswadana, one becomes more closer to Krishna. Right? So we are very, very fortunate that we are born in this time, which is the golden year where Lord Chaitanya just appeared a few moments back, technically. 500 years back is just a few moments back. from the day of Brahma. So let's do our best to be a via medium to share this love of Godhead, experience it, develop that taste, and share. This is what Mahaprabhu's movement. Yes, Prabhu, you want to add more things?
I mean, as you mentioned, Prabhu is so right that even we are very fortunate, because even when Krishna was present outside of Vrindavan, not so many devotees, they received that love of Godhead. Not even in Dwarka or Mathura. Even some people, they didn't even understand, in spite of seeing Krishna. But here, and Prabhupada was mentioning here that there was no condition. Krishna gave a condition that we have to surrender to him. Here, there was no condition.
Very well. Very well. Wonderful. You would like to read next verse?
Sure. Hare Krishna. Pranam. So, Adi Lila, chapter 7, text 22. পুনঃ পুনঃ পিয়ায়া হয় মহামত্ত, নাচে কান্দে হাসে গায়, জয়ছে মদমত্ত. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Avaicharan Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Sri Panchatattva themselves danced again and again, and thus made it easier to drink nectarian love of Godhead. They danced, cried, laughed, and chanted like madmen. In this way, they distributed love of Godhead. Purport: people generally cannot understand the actual meaning of chanting and dancing. Describing the Goswamis, Sri Srinivas Acharya stated, Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro. Not only did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates demonstrate this chanting and dancing, but the 6 Goswamis also followed in the next generation. The present Krishna consciousness movement follows the same principle, and therefore simply by chanting and dancing, we have received good responses all over the world. It is to be understood, however, that this chanting and dancing do not belong to this material world. They are actually transcendental activities. For the more one engages in chanting and dancing, the more he can taste the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead. So, Hare Krishna, here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that by chanting and dancing, actually Mahaprabhu, his associates, distributed. And that was carried by the 6 Goswamis, and that was carried by next the Srila Srinivas Acharya and Srila Narottam Das Thakur and Srila Shyamananda Pandit. And Srila Prabhupada actually carried that same concept. And I just want to add a few words here, not to putting anybody down. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he started the Gaudiya mission actually in a very structural way. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did in a very structural way. Mahaprabhu didn't start the chanting and dancing initially. Initially, he did that with his very confidential devotees in the house of Shivas Pandit. And that was not accessible to general people. Then he brought that chanting and dancing outside to general people. So very structured way. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also did that Gauriya mission, very structured way, so that it is not becoming like a Sahaja. So in that way, he sent his very three very scholarly devotees. One of them is Srila Ban Maharaj, one is Bhakti Saranga Goswami Thakur Maharaj, and the other devotees I don't remember. So they were sent to actually Europe, but they went with coat and tie. And if you look at some of the previous, like the harmonist, the paper, they went actually, but they actually went to the very elite society of the English people, like like they went to London and once in Germany, but they couldn't do that much. But if you look at Srila Prabhupada started the movement in Tompkins Square Park with chanting and dancing. Prabhupada didn't go to the elite society. He didn't go with all the philosophical things, but he started with chanting and dancing. And that's how, and then he started the Sunday Love Feast. He cooked initially 2 years by himself. Even initially, he was cleaning everything after everybody left. So, I mean, Srila Prabhupada didn't mention, but you can see that last line, they are actually transcendental activities. But the more one engages in chanting and dancing, the more he can taste the nectar of transcendental love of God. So I thought like to share with them. Hare Krishna, back to you. This Edward, correct.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing your heart. And Shivalandra Prabhu was also mentioning in this that it's very, very important, like for ISKCON as a family also, to rekindle that. Actually, so every devotee must try one's best as per time, place, situation to organize, to participate, to take part and share in chanting and dancing to one's best possible means for one's own good and for the collective good of the community and for the collective good of the world. This is what Lord Chaitanya is primarily teaching us here. This is what Srila Prabhupada is teaching us. Even at the advanced age, like sometimes we see some sannyasis, and even Prabhupada, 70 plus years, dancing like a 20-year-old or 15-year-old. So many sannyasis we see, they are dancing with so much enthusiasm. They are like the Prabhupada disciple, they're 70 plus years old, but still they're doing so much. Nache, kande, hase, gai, yache, madamatta, like a madman, like a mad person, mad in love with Krishna. One time His Grace Gauranga Prabhu was sharing, like, people may come to temple and, they may say, okay, temple is not a place to dance, right? Generally, temple is a place, typical mindset may say, oh, maybe sit quietly and maybe, join hands and stuff. But in ISKCON temple, any temple you go, you see, oh, there's wonderful kirtan and dancing. And so bhakti is fun, bhakti is joyful, bhakti is engaging all our senses. When we dance, if you're not dancing to the tunes of Krishna, we'll be dancing to the tunes of Maya. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, Nachao, nachao, nachao se mate. Kashtera putali yatha. I am like a dancing doll in your hands, Krishna. Krishna, make me dance the way you want me to dance. People go to clubs, nightclubs, and casinos, and bars, and whatnot, discos, and they dance. They pay a lot of money, to get intoxicated and dance there. So the jiva has that propensity to engage one's senses, to engage one's words, to engage one's body. That propensity is there. Typically, even the dancing is a form of expression of love of God. So dancing is in kirtan, one must chant loudly, dance. When one dances in kirtan, Krishna enters in their heart. No, and devotee was sharing this. So very, very profound activity. Nache kande, hase gai, happy, joyful, chant, dance, clap, right? One time, thing devotee was sharing. Okay, when you sing kirtan, you can clap your hands, right? Karta. Like some people are like, no, I want like no. And in India, like in some states they eat this, so what do you call like masala or tambaku and tobacco and stuff. So the first they kind of grind this like with their hands, and then what they do? Have you seen? And anyone has seen this? And then they put that in their mouth. So Prabhu was telling, see, these people, when you ask to chant, to clap in Harinam, they'll not do, but to clap for that tobacco or whatever that thing is, it's intoxicant basically, for that masala that they're grinding first and then clapping. And so the propensity is there. If we don't use it for Krishna, we'll use it for Maya, right? There's only two things, either Krishna or Maya. There's no like. So Krishna has given us this body, right? Candy. Yes, it's kind of tobacco or intoxicant, right? Yes. So we must use the energy we have, the mouth, the arms, the legs, Gauranga Bolia Dubaho Tolia Nachia Nachia Gauri. So we must use these faculties Krishna has given us to the best possible. And then people will feel, wow, this is so joyful. Yes, I want to be in a place. And that's what spiritual world. Every word is a song, every step is a dance, right? So that place will become spiritual world where devotees are congregating and chanting and dancing and singing about Krishna, dancing, caring, feasting, right? And all that, as Indra Prabhu said, chanting and dancing philosophy, feasting is what? To energize us, to convince us more that chanting and dancing is the thing. And then that chanting and dancing will gradually evolve to higher and higher stages with love, with devotion, and ultimately it will perfect from pure chanting and dancing. Shuddha Bhakta. Any other thoughts? Okay, let's read next verse, text 23, very, very important verse. Anyone would like to read this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji. Text 23. Patra patra vichar nahi shastra पत्र पत्र विचार नाही स्थाना स्थाना ए यहाँ पाया ताना करे प्रेम दान. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. In distributing love of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates did not consider who was a fit candidate and who was not, nor where such distribution should or should not take place. They made no conditions. Wherever they got the opportunity, the members of the Panchatattva distributed love of Godhead. Purport. There are some rascals who dare to speak against the mission of Lord Chaitanya by criticizing the Krishna consciousness movement for accepting Europeans and Americans as Brahmanas and offering them sannyasa. But here is an authoritative statement that in distributing love of Godhead, one should not consider whether the recipients are Europeans, Americans, Hindus, Muslims, etc. The Krishna consciousness movement should be spread wherever possible, and one should accept those who thus become Vaishnavas as being greater than Brahmanas. Hindus or Indians, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired that his name be spread in each and every town and village on the surface of the globe. Therefore, when the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is spread all over the world, should those who embrace it not be accepted as Vaishnava, Brahmanas, and Sannyasis? These foolish arguments are sometimes raised by envious rascals, but Krishna conscious devotees do not care about them. We strictly follow the principles set down by the Panchatattva. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Nice verse for memorization also. Patra patra vichara nahi nahi sthana sthan ye jaha payataha kare premadan. Patra. Patra means their qualification. Patrata. Right? What is their qualification? Are they the right recipient to receive? Or they are a patra? No, they're not right. They don't have qualification. Vichar nahi, nahi vichar kiya hai. Lord Chaitanya Panchatattva did not consider, they did not analyze, oh, I will give, Prema Sankirtan or love of God to only qualified people. No. Nahi sthan, asthans. See the word patra, apatra, sthan, asthan. Sthan means there are some places which are situated, which are, you can say, more conducive for Krishna consciousness, like Vrindavan, like Mayapur, etc. But look at Prabhupada. The place like New York, Bowery, it is most technically a sthana. It is not a very favorable place for one to practice bhakti, especially like 50 years back. There was like counterculture going on. A sannyasi like Prabhupada, the pure Gaudiya Vaishnava sannyasi, a pure devotee of Lord, has no business in that place, right? He left Vrindavan, took all the pains on a cargo ship. Why? And that too, he didn't go maybe, like maybe to South India and some like pious place where some pious, Lord Krishna arranged for him to, in his guru, his spiritual master told him to go into the Western world. So very like least kind of favorable place for bhakti. But the messengers, the pure devotees of Lord, do not consider who is qualified, who is not qualified, which place is suitable, which place is not suitable. If Lord Chaitanya would have done that, if Prabhupada would have done that, we all would not have been sitting here, right? If he would have said, oh, no, I'll just give it to maybe some pious brahmanas who have very high culture, who just come to Vrindavan, I'll sit in Radha Damodar temple, and maybe some devotees must have, still many devotees go there. So some people who come there and they have very high background and bhakti, then only I'll share Krishna consciousness with them. No, that is not the mood. That is not the mood of Lord Chaitanya. The mood is patra apatra vichar nahi nahi sthan asthan ye yaha paya taha kare premadan. Jisko jaha mila, wherever, right? Wherever they got the opportunity. So this is the mood of Lord Chaitanya, and devotees should also try to build that mood. Right? wherever we get an opportunity to share Krishna consciousness, whether we are traveling in a flight, whether we're in a library, whether we're any place, right? We don't push things upon anyone, but we at least try to do our best, right? Even if they chant Hare Krishna, chant Gauranga, they take some prasad, take a book or something. Taha kare premadam, right? Because if we keep considering who is fit, who is not fit, first of all, am I fit to even do consideration of that? I'm not a person who is going to consider who is the right recipient to. You may share some, let's say, some Krishna conscious book or Harinam with someone. Tomorrow, that person, could become a self-realized soul, and I could be still hanging there with my, anarthas. So we just have to take this message because this is Lord Chaitanya's message and just do, and the Lord Chaitanya will decide who is fit, who is not fit. Lord Chaitanya will do the magic. We just have to do our part, and try to give Premadhan, Prema Sankirtan. We are no one to give this. We just have to become the order carriers of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And very important, not distinguish, as Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is calling rascal. There are some rascals who basically saying, oh, no, 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 no. Prabhupada gave it to English people. It's a big mistake. They are not Brahmins. They are like, they don't know Tantra, Mantra, etc. Their pronunciation is not fine. So many things. But Prabhupada is referring us to this statement. Look at this statement. Lord Chaitanya is saying anyone and everyone is qualified. So we should not distinguish, oh, he's white or black or blue or yellow or short or tall or rich or poor, literate, illiterate, male, female. All these are external bodily designations. Bhakti is beyond all that. Language, culture, Indian, American, European, everyone's constitutional position is we are eternal servant. Kibavipra kibanyasa shudra kininoy. Ye Krishna Tattva Veti Sei Guru Hoy. We have to become, they're not all these designations. So we must follow the principles. We must strictly follow the principles set down by Lord Chaitanya or Panchatattva. And do our best to share the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, to be an instrument to share the mercy of Lord Chaitanya without considering who is fit, who is not fit. Sometimes, like His Grace Bhadra Prabhu organizes Rath Yatra. The people who are there, are they wearing right clothes on the beach? No. Are they fit if we consider, oh, no, 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 only they are not right people, they're not wearing proper clothes, and they are drunk also on top of that, right? Is that like if you have to maybe in some other temples, I mean, they will not be even allowed entrance, right? But look at the mercy of Lord Jagannath. Look at the mercy of his devotees. They are going to that place which is not a favorable place. It's not beaches, and especially like the kind of clothes, the kind of the drink and alcohol and beer and whatnot they drink. It's not a place to be for devotees, right? Especially alone, right? But devotees are so merciful, they're making them also chant and dance. Is it not? Right? Recently, they had Rath Yatra in which beach? Daytona Beach, and now we have upcoming in the month of May in Clearwater. So it's also great. Like the Gasparilla Parade, it's not a very sober festival. Like people are drunk and crazy. But still, devotees are very the mood of compassion to share the mercy of Lord Chaitanya is there. So again, we are not encouraging to do crazy things like go to a bar and uh, especially don't go alone, as Prabhupada said. All right. So we should be a little mindful, like especially like do it together. So Skale is Shakti. So we're not like encouraging someone alone to, oh, I'll give Harinam in the bar. I'll give Harinam to some people. So we should go in groups. That's always healthy and helpful. Even for book distribution, especially in this country, like for our own safety also, and for the safety of our bhakti also, right? Yes, we have to share, but we have to first nurture ourselves too. So we don't encourage, especially Matajis, even Prabhus, to go alone. Always go in groups like 3, 4, maybe at least for book distribution or for like sometimes door to door. Um, so let's encourage or Harinam. So at least few devotees should go together. Don't go alone. Any other thoughts? It's a very beautiful verse in this connection about the mercy. This is a beautiful verse. If anyone would like to memorize. Any comments, corrections, thoughts? Okay, let's read one last verse for today and we'll wrap up. Text 24. Anyone would like to read?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandap Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text number 24. Lutiya kahiya diya bhandare uchaida ascharya bhandara prema sartha guna bhare. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although the members of Panchatattva plundered the storehouse of love of Godhead and ate and distributed its contents, there was no scarcity, for this wonderful storehouse is so complete that as the love is distributed, the supply increases hundreds of times. Perfect. A pseudo-incarnation of Krishna once told his disciple that he had emptied himself by giving him all knowledge and was thus spiritually bankrupt. Such bluffers speak in this way to cheat the public, but actual spiritual consciousness is so perfect that the more it is distributed, the more it increases. Bankruptcy is a term that applies to the material world, but the storehouse of love of Godhead in the spiritual world can never be depleted. Krishna is providing for millions and trillions of living entities by supplying all their necessities. And even if all the innumerable living entities wanted to become Krishna conscious, there would be no scarcity of love of Godhead, nor would there be insufficiency in providing for their maintenance. Our Krishna conscious movement was started single-handedly, and no one provided for our livelihood. But at present, we are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars all over the world, and the movement is increasing more and more. Thus, there is no question of scarcity. All those persons may be, if we stick to our principles and follow the footsteps of Panchatattva, this movement will go on unchecked by limitation, by imitation swamis, sannyasis, religious, philosophers, or scientists. For it is transcendental to all material considerations. Therefore, those who propagate the Krishna conscious movement should not be afraid of such rascals or fools. Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful purport here. So here we can see that Srila Prabhupada is saying that, the more we distribute, the more we get. That is the beauty of spiritual world. The more generally in the material world, if we give, in the supply get dipping that, becoming bankruptcy, because generally that's what, you preach more, you get more,
you share more, you get more. Krishna is always Purnam. I mean, in the Om Purnamadam also we sing. So irrespective of even a tiny bit, also it is Purnam. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. So, but here we can see that these pseudo gurus try to and discourage that. And also, I think Prabhupada was mentioning that this Krishna conscious movement will grow, over the time because of the mercy of Panchatattva. Thank you, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So beautiful verse. This is, imagine a storehouse of grains, let's say. One has a big container of 100 pounds of grains, and one uses 5 pound for some festival, gives 10 pound maybe in charity. Another next month uses few pounds here, few pounds there, gives something. So what will happen ultimately? One will have 0 pounds of grains left, right? Because it's material, right? But this bhandara is so extraordinary, so ashcharya, wonderful. Lutiya, they're plundering, they are doing aswadana. Khaya, they're eating, right? They're experiencing that joy. Diya, they're distributing, they're sharing with others. As His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu says, preaching is basically overflow. So one must preach to oneself and also preach to others. But if one is spiritually bankrupt, then how will one share? If one does not read Bhagavad Gita, how can we share Bhagavad Gita? So Prabhupada said, chant and Hare Krishna and share with others. So first one has to experience or take this nectar oneself, and then diya, distribute this bhandara, ujari. They emptied. Now, as we discussed, one has like a rice bhandara or any bhandara, any like money, rice, grains, whatever pulses. It will go empty, but Acharya Bhandara Prema Shataguna Badi. Shataguna, hundreds and hundreds of times it will increase. If we take it sincerely and if we become an instrument to share it genuinely, one will never be spiritually bankrupt. Rather, one will become a spiritual millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. Ashcharya Bhandara, this love of God will increase in one's heart. Very, very astonishing, very, very wonderful. We cannot understand this. So bhakti does not faint when we share. Rather, one's bhakti will grow. To the best, if we share it genuinely, without envy, as Prabhupada is sharing here, right? Stick to the principles. Single-handedly, Prabhupada did, and everyone, like the three couples Prabhupada sent, practically they had no resources. So anyone in Lord Chaitanya's mission, Prabhupada is giving mercy, strength. Lord Chaitanya is backing us. Lord Chaitanya, right? He would provide everything what's required. There's no scarcity, nor there would be any insufficiency in providing for maintenance. So Krishna will arrange what's required. Krishna is the one who is providing for everyone. Will he not arrange for his devotees? Will he not arrange for his congregation? He will certainly arrange if we stick to the principles, without jealousy, without envy. Therefore, those who propagate should not be afraid. There will be people who will be envious. There will be people who will say wrong things. Oh, there will be people who will always say, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing? This is not good. That's not good. So many people. But one should stay determined in the path of Utsaha, Nishchay, Dharya. Right? There are always ups and downs. But Prabhupada also had ups and downs, but Prabhupada didn't give up. There were so many challenges, heart attacks, so many people complaining, so many people doing, but single-handedly he started, and, then money also came, resources, because he's a genuine, pure devotee who is purely distributing the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So this will increase hundreds of times if we are genuine, if we are honestly trying our best without hidden motives, without desire for puja, la, pratishtha, right, which is considered like a weed in the path of bhakti, then this will increase hundreds of times. And that's the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the wonderful storehouse, no scarcity. So experience it, taste it, and distribute it. And it will magically grow. It will magically grow hundreds and millions of times with every day. Any other thoughts, comments, experiences anyone wants to share here before we wrap up?
Prabhuji, I just wanted to share and comment on something. The second last text that we read about Patra, Patra, Sthana, Sthana. This is something really strike me today, the most in the whole session. Like, wherever we go into any religious things, we've always heard that, this God is for this God is for this community follows this God. But it's such a bigger view that Krishna's love is not for one person or one particular community or one sect of people, but it is for everybody. That's a very, I mean, very big thought, and a very uh, new, not a new kind of thought, what I would say, a very different thought. Like, God is not divided kind of thing, and it's for his love is for everyone, and it's equal for everyone irrespective of caste and creed and anything else. And secondly, the power of Sankirtan that we were discussing about, I was very hesitant. And last time when we went for Nagar Sankirtan, that was my first experience. And I always had this thing in my mind that, how can you like just go on street, sing and dance, and just ask people to dance with you. I mean, I always had that hesitancy in me. But last time when we went there and we had that Sankirtan, it was initially, I won't say that I wasn't hesitant that day also. Initially I was, but then gradually when we started doing it, I enjoyed it. And by the time when I was coming back home, I actually reflected back on it. It was not only me that I was feeling happy just because I participated it, but at the end of the day, I felt that I, contributed something in the mission of what Prabhupada says, to spread the word. At least we did an effort. So, yeah, I mean, that's a big thing. Sankirtan, definitely, I am sure it has lot effect and on a larger audience. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Very well. Thank you for your two wonderful reflections. Very, very amazing. Yes, Lord's mercy is so huge. And because, like there's one story also, Akbar Birbal. You heard this story? I'll share this real quick. The Lord's, like one time, Akbar got this pride. Oh, I'm the king, I'm maintainer and this and that. So Birbal wanted to humble him. He said, Akbar, you are even greater than God. Really? Greater than God? Yeah, because he said, okay, then tell me more. He said, well, you can kick out someone from your kingdom and not choose to accept him or her, but God cannot do that because everything is his kingdom. Hmm? Everything belongs to him. Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the supreme proprietor, so his mercy is unlimited. So nice and so nicely you mentioned, and one feels that, and that's what Prabhupada built, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Irrespective of one's, young or old, rich or poor, any background, any status, any language, any culture, anyone and everyone can come. This is Lord Chaitanya's mercy, and your experience with Harinam is very powerful. It's his bhakti is very experiential. We can feel it. So thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, you want to add something?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was just thinking that why it is not, we know that the Harinam Sankirtan actually is Golokher Premadhan. Means it's from the Golok Vrindavan. It's not from other spiritual world like other Vaikuntha planets or anything. Like, you know, before Mahaprabhu came, Srila Ramanujacharya, their chanting process was Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. His Gurudev gave him that mantra, and but Mahaprabhu brought that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and that was strictly His Holiness Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj was saying one time that whoever takes shelter of the Brajavasis, they will get that. Among the Brajavasis, we read it in the first, that gopis are the best. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the best. And Srimati Radharani, Mahaprabhu he took the bhav of Srimati Radharani. So he is the best person, bring that Vrindavan's love of Godhead. Because nobody can love Krishna besides the Brajavasis. So that is came as a Harinam Sankirtan. Yes, Srila Narottam Das Thakur was mentioning Golokero Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. So that's why it is like so, powerful. And we have so many, just Mataji just said right now. So what a nice example.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we request everyone to please join for the Harinam Sankirtan on Saturday evening, if possible, if time and situations allow. Please try to join and encourage others also. And whichever city, I know some of you are from different cities, try to do that so everyone in your city can also benefit from this. And especially like during this time, like during the Appearance Day, the weather seems to be good. The opportunity is great, although these are not the considerations, but what to do? We are Kali Yuga. So, but there is extra mercy. It's the Appearance Day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's just right around the corner. So please, let's try our best to share it. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharshi ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Hari Bol.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.